Surviving on faith. Why does this religious community live longer than the rest of us? Our series, Living Longer, Living Better. A new ABC News USA Today poll finds almost 2/3 of Americans say it's worth practicing moderation, exercising regularly, eating properly, avoiding alcohol and stress in order to live to 100. Tonight, ABC's Gigi Stone introduces us to a community in Loma Linda, California that believes it has found the answer.
Marge Jetton got her first car around the time cars were invented. At 101 years old, she's still behind the wheel. At 94, Marion Westermeyer is still perfecting his dive. And at 91, Dr. Ellsworth Wareham is visiting a patient he helped operate on last night. All are members of America's longest living community, the Seventh-day Adventists of California. The Adventist Church was born during an era of 19th century health reform. It has always preached and practiced a message of health. No smoking, no alcohol, no caffeine, no rich foods, and plenty of exercise like daily walks. But the real secret, members say, is their faith itself.
It could be that there's something about prayer, something about the hope that engenders, something about the social support that they get.
Our next guest has traveled to 3 parts of the world where people do live the longest to find the secrets of longevity. Dan Buettner wrote about what he found in the new issue of National Geographic, which is available on newsstands on Friday. And Dan joins us now. Good to have you with us.
Good to be here.
So the 3 places that you found,
Okinawa,
Sardinia, and then in the United States?
The Seventh-day Adventists. They live about 10 years longer than the average American, the ones who most strictly follow Adventist way of life.
In these 3 places that you studied, any common traits?
The cultures of longevity are basically eat a plant-based diet. They almost avoid all meat, or they have very little meats in their diet traditionally.
And in Loma Linda, California, you said there at the end, those who follow the Seventh-day Adventist lifestyle most closely live 10 years longer.
Yeah. They're largely vegetarian. They avoid smoking. They avoid pork. They have very strong faith. 1 day a week, no matter how busy they are, they stop everything and they focus on their God and their family. And we know from studies that people who go to church at least 4 times a month live as much as 2 years longer than people who don't. So faith is probably a good thing to have. And they follow 5 little habits that conveys to them extraordinary longevity, comparatively speaking. In America here, life expectancy for the average woman is 80, but for an Adventist woman, their life expectancy is 89, and the difference is even more pronounced among men who are expected to live about 11 years longer. This is a heterogeneous community. It's white, black, Hispanic, Asian. The only thing they have in common are a set of very small lifestyle habits that they follow ritualistically. They take their diet directly from the Bible, Genesis chapter 1, verse 26, where God talks about legumes and seeds, and on one more stanza about green plants, ostensibly missing his meat.
If there's someone here who is willing to say, I'll become a vegetarian if you do this, then I'll do it. Now, in a group this big, there ought to be at least, all right, we got a volunteer back here that said, you'll become a vegetarian if I do this. Okay. Y'all pray for me. I have not practiced this today. One of these days, we're going to have to give this up. They tell me they got the paramedics standing by. Oh.
Tonight's topic is, like I said earlier, it's Revelation's Health Plan. Revelation's Health Plan. This is lesson number 10 of our 12-part series, meaning we're getting close to the end here, but we're on lesson 10, Revelation's Health Plan. You know, the United States spends a little over $2 trillion per year on just healthcare-related issues. Healthcare is really an expensive thing in the United States. It amounts to 16.2% of our gross annual product for the year. And if you break that down per person, that's $7,421 per person in the United States that we're spending on health care. Yeah, isn't that amazing? We got someone from Sweden here, so and you have a remarkable health plan over there that doesn't cost you anything. But this is what Americans are typically spending. This is what is being spent in America per person. If you had to divide it up for everybody, every citizen of the United States, it'd be $7,421. Tonight we're going to talk about a free health plan. Isn't that nice? How would you like to have a free health plan? That's the Bible's plan. Lots of interest in health. Health is a really hot topic. I mean, when your health is affected, your whole life shuts down. Everything is just not right when your health is wrong. And so there's a lot of interest in health. David Bjerkley, a senior reporter from Time magazine, just did an interesting study. He was studying foods and the body parts that the foods resemble. Has anyone heard of this? About foods and body parts? Let me just read a little something that he found out, and many people have been sharing this and reevaluating this. But he noticed, for instance, the walnut looks like the human brain. And the walnut has it has a left and right hemisphere. It has upper cerebrums and lower cerebrums. And the wrinkles and folds mimic the neocortex of the brain. But walnuts develop over 3 dozen neurotransmitters that are helpful in brain function. You have 2 more lessons? In brain function. So, and kidney beans, for instance, heal and maintain kidney functions. They look exactly like the kidney. No, that's why we call them kidney beans. Sweet potatoes look like the pancreas, and they balance the glycemic index of diabetes. So if those of you struggling with diabetes, get those sweet potatoes out. Down the list, on onions have this thing. They look like body cells, and they help clean waste and minerals out of the human body and out of the cell. Avocados and pears and eggplants. This is for females. They target health and function of the womb and the cervix. And 1 avocado a week balances hormones, sheds unwanted birth weight, and prevents cervical cancers. It takes, I guess, approximately 9 months to grow an avocado from the blossom to the maturity to ripeness. And that's kind of interesting. That's how long it takes for a woman to incubate a fetus. The tomato has 4 chambers like a heart. It's red like the heart, and it's a great blood food. The sliced carrot looks like the human eye. If you slice it up, it looks like the pupil, the iris, and with the dilating lines and everything. And carrots, help your eyes, don't they? They enhance the blood flow to the eye and enhance its health. So, interesting study there. But there's just on and on. Health, you could just go on and on about all the interest that's involved with your health, people's health. So let's get into our lesson now. Question number 1. You all have lessons? Everybody have a lesson? Okay. Question number 1. Does the Bible have a health plan? Our answer comes from 3 John 1 and verse 2. Of course, there's only one. Let's see. 3 John and verse 2, it says, I wish above all things that you may prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospers. How do you like that? Now, above all things, he wishes that above all things that you can prosper and be in health, even like your soul prospers. You notice that he puts an equal emphasis on your physical health as he does on your spiritual health. Quite interesting, isn't it? And then if you want to look into God's future health plan, you can read that in Revelation 2 and verse 7. The Bible says, to him that overcomes, I will give to eat. That's our diet plan for the future. I will give you to eat of the tree of life, which is in the midst of the garden of God, of the paradise of God. Now, how many of you like fruit? Everybody's hand almost goes up. Fruit is a wonderful thing. I remember growing up on the farm, and one of the great advantages for my situation, growing up on a farm, is having neighbors that had lots of really good fruit.